What's going on, guys? We're talking about the 2016 Duke Blue Devils basketball team recruiting class. Jack, why don't you start us off?
All right, so the big news came out around midday on Sunday. Jayson Tatum, the small forward, 6'8", 190, from St. Louis, committed to Duke University at the Peach Jam, which, coincidentally enough, was against another top 3 player, Harry Giles, the power forward, who is rumored to also be interested in coming to Duke University. So let's talk about what this means for Duke going forward and how big of a signing this is, and Jayson Tatum, the player. So Jayson Tatum is a small forward from St. Louis, as I mentioned earlier. He's not really a three-point shooter, but he's a great scorer inside. He can shoot from the mid-range, and he can get to the line. He also offers pretty great defensive versatility because he's 6'8", and he can guard multiple positions, probably the 2, 3, and the 4 even, especially in college. And until he bulks up for the NBA, it's going to be a while until he can really guard some of those bigger 4s, but maybe small ball 4s he can definitely cover.
Yeah, and you haven't had a player like that. Duke hasn't for a while now, it seems like.
I would actually disagree. I would say he's the next in not a long line, but a recent trend of players. It all started, actually, I would say, with Jabari Parker and Rodney Hood that year.
Okay, Rodney Hood, I can see what you're saying.
And then
followed you think Parker has the same defensive intensity as Tatum?
No, but I think it's a similar type wing player that they haven't had.
Okay.
Then that was followed by Justice Winslow.
Right.
Last year, who, if you saw the NCAA tournament, guarded multiple positions, did a great job. And now this year, in 2015, it's going to be Brandon Ingram, who's 6'9", about 195. And he's more Kevin Durant than, I guess, wing defender.
Yeah.
But it's a similar type wing player that Duke really hadn't had until recently. And it's been started this new trend for them that they've been recruiting these one-and-done type players. And, I mean, it worked for them last year. We'll see how it works this year. But they've taken John Calipari's succeed and proceed, and they've done it themselves. And Coach K, I mean, has taken what Calipari's done and almost done it better.
Yeah.
And I would say that based on what he's doing so far, if you're a Duke basketball fan, even though it's looking like Coach K, obviously his time's winding down, you got to be really excited with the future here at Duke. So as I mentioned earlier, Harry Giles is the power forward who is also rumored to be coming to Duke. And they're rumored to be a package, not quite like Tyus Jones and Jahlil Okafor, but similar in the sense that they're both top prospects and they both want to go to the same school. So, with Tatum coming to Duke, Giles, you would think, follow suit and come to Duke as well. I think he's coming to Duke for the simple fact that I think that he had his ACL repaired at Duke University when he was in 9th grade. He's had a good relationship with USA basketball, and therefore
Coach K
affiliated.
Right, affiliated.
So I think that's got all to do with it. Also, I think if you're Giles, Tatum's already going. You want to be part of a winner. Duke's a winner. I think that'll be a big influence in it. But another player who is also rumored to be part of that package is Dennis Smith Jr., who I personally have as the number 1 player in that class. We'll see what he ends up doing. He's a point guard. I think he can be like Derrick Rose before the knee injury.
Hopefully.
And so this right now is more about Tatum, Dennis Smith Jr., and Harry Giles. We'll have to wait on their timelines. But Tatum's coming to Duke. Duke fans, rejoice. Great player. Hopefully it leads to Giles, maybe Smith Jr. as well. But it's time to be excited for Duke. Hopefully win another championship next year. And they're already setting up for the following year. So be excited. Good times. That's a wrap.